At the beach again, still making my way through Hot Chocolates and Thursday, and I wanted to give you a bit of an update. I am now 85 pages through, which I think is like technically 6 chapters because I'm on like the 6th part. And what I'm loving about this is how easily intertwined the perspectives are. Like they don't feel forced. And I think with like healing translation fiction, often it's like you know you're going to have multiple POVs and multiple experiences and characters, but this one just flows. Like you're just meeting one character which then bumps into the next character and you're following that story. And yeah, I just love it. And I'm loving how we're seeing from the different perspectives, like everything from the young kindergarten teacher to the older teacher who she thought hated her but doesn't, to her best friend who she had a difficult relationship with and didn't understand the choices that she made, to her experience with her new husband and her doubts in her mind. And it's just sort of you making you realize how interconnected we are as humans and how different we all are at the same time, but yet we still fundamentally feel like the same about certain things and have the same anxieties and worries, even if on the surface we don't feel like that. Like I found that especially with the older kindergarten teacher, she was like portrayed to be this really kind of like angry person, but when you got into her head you just realized it's because she didn't comprehend that, like she didn't even think about that, like that wasn't in her consciousness. And yeah, I'm just finding that a really beautiful thing. So I'm about halfway through it, so I'm intrigued to see what other tales we get woven through. And just loving the little Easter eggs, like in the newlyweds chapter where it's the older kindergarten teacher's friend, who then we follow the friends chapter being on the honeymoon with her new husband, and she meets the old couple. The old couple's daughter ended up being the lingerie owner of the one in which the older kindergarten teacher bought the lingerie for her friends. If that makes any sense. And I'm just loving these kind of like little Easter eggs and these little like snippets as well. And yeah, I'm having such a fun time reading it. It feels so wholesome and so beautiful. And yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading. So another little reading check-in. I've just read the green like segment of the book where the woman only paints in green, and I felt as though it was kind of a bit convoluted. I feel like I kind of understood it deep in my soul. It probably isn't this deep, but it kind of to me felt a bit like a metaphor for my autism, for being different, for liking the things I like, people not accepting that, not understanding that, the communication not being there. And I don't know, there was just something about it which was just so soul like fulfilling, and I just kind of saw myself resembled in it, and I loved that chapter. I'm also finding it interesting that we're not just sticking in Japan, we are mainly in Australia and Sydney as well. Like a lot of the characters have taken us to Australia and Sydney, and I'm just on the chapter where it's Ralph's kitchen and it's his perspective, the shop, the sandwich shop in Sydney. So I find that quite interesting because I didn't really think like much has been taken outside of like translated fiction where it's gone like outside of Japan. So it's kind of interesting to see different cultures represented in this book as well, and different settings and themes and different people. And yeah, I'm just finding it so like eye-opening, and so yeah, just so much of the human experience is being talked about in this book. I hope you can hear me over the waves crashing. But yeah, I'm really, really loving it. I've just come up from the beach and I'm in the car just waiting to go home. But I just read that line about how being in your usual spot can give you strength, and how it reverts back to the very beginning of the book, where we see our Mr. Hot Chocolate Man creating a hot chocolate for his crush, and how she is really down on herself. And obviously we found out the reason why she was having a quarrel with her friend who had a life-threatening illness, and she was really upset by it. But it just goes to show like how important it is to be kind to people, because you just never know what they're going through, and how kind of like much just a word can mean to someone, or like a sentence or a phrase or something like that. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just loving this like whole idea behind this book, how interconnected it is, how easily it flows, like little snippets of that, like how well-rounded it's become, like the book itself. And yeah, I don't know, just kind of like that throwback to the very beginning of the book. And you now, as the reader, understanding what each of these characters are going through, however each of the perspective and the protagonists don't know. So you kind of get that little insight. And I don't know, it just feels like it's very reminiscent of real life, because you know your own intentions, and you know the insight of what you're thinking and feeling, and what your, like I see your intentions are, but others don't, and you don't know what's going on for them, or what they're thinking, feeling, or intentions are either. And yeah, I don't know, it's making my heart really happy, and just reminding me the importance of human connection and kindness. And yeah, it's just a really, really comforting and lovely read. But yeah, I thought it would just pop on to say that I love the little segment of kind of like the throwback to the beginning of it. But yeah, I'm 166 pages through. I don't have a lot left to go, so I will update you when I next have like a little check-in. I'm back a lot sooner than I thought, because I said I'm only 166 pages through and I don't have long left to go. But the rest of the book is a snippet into the upcoming next book of this author, Matcha on Monday, which I cannot wait to read. So that means I have now finished Hot Chocolate on Thursday, and it was so good. The fact that this was a love letter to Mr. Hot Chocolate Man, explaining everything, going through everything, and then I feel like everything I just said before stands about it being about human connection. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a 4.4, a 4.5, or a 5 star. I haven't quite decided which one yet. From me, because I don't know, there's just something about it which it just really resonated with me, the different perspectives. Obviously not all of them felt like I could relate, but I feel like that's important, because like the human experience is so varied and wide. But yeah, I just loved like the different depth of the different characters explored through this. Like I say, the person who only paints green, how it kind of felt very reminiscent of autism for me personally, in my experience with autism. And then how at the very beginning of the book, obviously I think it's the Mastro, I think, is the person who hands over the cafe to Mr. Hot Chocolate Man, ends up being the person who's like basically being what's it called, like a scout for artists. And then we see that travel through Sydney, and all of these experiences through Sydney. And I don't know, I feel like there was just so many experiences and variety packed in such a small amount of pages, and done so well and so effortlessly, and it flowed so beautifully. Like, I felt the writing was perfect, the translation of the writing was perfect. I just understood the author's intentions and what they were trying to say, which is just always really important. And yeah, I just absolutely loved it. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed Hot Chocolates on Thursday. I would love to hear your thoughts, feelings, and reviews in the comments below. And yeah, here's to the next 2 months of reading. So thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you have a wonderful day or night. Until next time, bye.